Lithium versus lead acid. Since the first day I wanted to build an electric bicycle, I had these questions in my mind. Should I use lithium or lead acid batteries? Which one is stronger? Which one is more powerful? Which one is more resilient? Which one is lighter? And which one costs more? And is the cost savings of the one battery versus the other worth the money? This is a super hybrid bike. It was lithium ion initially, now it's lead acid battery, AGM batteries over there in the back. I have 312 volt, 9 amp hour. I'm going to show you how this bike performs with lithium ion at full speed, at half speed. This particular bicycle has a special switch that you could turn the motor in half mode, so it only uses half the power, but also you have half the speed. Let's do a range test real quick. Lithium at full speed, lithium at half speed, and then this battery pack at full speed, and see which one is worth. We're gonna set up the recording app and let's give it a try and see how far we can go on throttle only. So just throttle only, no pedaling. And here we go, no pedaling, just throttle all the way to the destination. And today we're gonna do the test at full throttle. So right now we're running full throttle. It will go about 25 miles an hour. That's what I was expecting. Made it to the park. It still shows a full charge in 2.7 miles right now. Kept it at full speed, so full throttle all the way over here. And this is the end. I ran out of juice right over here. So full throttle, it did. And we're gonna stop it, finish. 6.4 miles. 6.4 miles. So this battery is definitely a scam. Now let's try it at half speed. So this is a watt meter. I've reset it to 0. And I have my charger for my battery plugged into it. This will tell me how much charge the battery takes. So I'm going to plug it in. And this will tell me not only how much power it uses when it charges, which is 80 watts, but also how much power it would take to go from completely empty to full. So right now it's completely empty, and we're gonna go to full and see how much power is in this battery. Next day, battery charged overnight and used 14 kilowatt, 140 watts. I'm sorry, 140 watts. That means that it's half of the size it was sold, because it's supposed to be a 350 watt battery and it's 140 watts. So. How to double your range on your electric bicycle. This is a Chinese electric bicycle. So inside the electronics box over here, there is a special wire, this blue wire over here, that has a connector at the end. This connector is specifically designed to put the motor in half mode, so it runs at half speed, half power. In my case, I've decided to run the wires over here at the top. And I have a little controller over here, and one it's enabling and disabling the pedal assist, and the other one puts the motor in half mode, so it has half power instead of full power. I'm going to test it out on half power right now, see how far we could go. Here it is, reset to full, push the button in so it's not going to be at full power, reset to 0 miles, let's see how far we can go. And here it is, maximum speed is going to be 12-13 miles an hour today, and this is the full throttle right now, so let's see how far we can go this way. I made it the same location as I was yesterday, 2.1 miles from the house. Battery is still full. I could definitely feel that the battery, it's lasting a lot better. And here we are in the middle of nowhere, literally. Got all the way to a sign where it says don't go this way anymore. I'm a mile 5.3. I specifically stopped over here because this is exactly as far as it went. 6.4 miles yesterday on 12, and today I still have some battery left. So how much is left? We'll see how much we extended the range just by taking it a little bit easier. And this is as far as we got before we lost power, 7.5 miles. Let's see what the GPS says. So the GPS says 7.34, so this one is a little bit off, but not by much. And we are out of power, so from now on we gotta nurse or whatever we have left in the battery to take us home. Pedaling. We made it back to the garage. The battery is completely dead, even though on the indicator on the battery it shows like it still has power. It shows full. If you put it under load, it will just kill, so just die, and then the power disappears from here. So I'm gonna take it apart right now and see, because this is a big lie. They sold them as 36 volts, 10 amps, and this is a lie. So what's this? These are 3 batteries, deep cycle, 2.7 amps each, that I will run on the electric bicycle. They're going to be hooked up in series, so they're going to give you about 40 volts. This is the bicycle is going to go on, and I know you see I have a battery over there already, but that battery is coming off because it's a piece of crap. It was sold as a 36 volt, 10 amps. When I first bought it, it was lasting for about 7 miles, but now there's something seriously wrong with that battery, so I'm going to return it back to eBay. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to connect them in series, and I'm going to put it in my backpack as a temporary test to see what's the range on these particular batteries. These are, as I said, 9 amp hours sold as 9 amp hours. The 3 amps maximum amps that you could pull out of them at 12 volt, 40 volt system or 36 volt system, you do the math. I got the app reset, so I know how far we're gonna go. I reset this one to 0, turn the bike on, and let's give it full beans and see what's gonna happen. I don't feel any loss of power, maybe a little bit. So these batteries don't have the amps of the big ones. We are at mile 2.5, and I just realized that when I let the throttle go, the green light is not coming back anymore so fast as it was before. So it's coming back right now, but this is reading lithium ion. Lead acid have a lower voltage. Mile 5.5, I have lost the yellow light. Now remember, the voltages are different on this one, but I do feel that the bike is going slower. And there it is, throttle. Mile 6.4. I stopped, give them a rest to see if these batteries somehow come back, because they were supposed to be about 100 watts each. So I should have about 300 watts worth of power, which should take you a lot further than actually they took me so far. So we'll see if maybe these are not as good as the Chinese lithium ion either. So, you know, it's all a lie at the end. Just as an interesting statistic, I'm gone for 26 minutes and I have pulled power out of these things for 22 minutes. So 22 minutes of full throttle pulling power on a 500 watt motor, 6.4 miles, and I'm running a little bit low. I have made it back home, mile 8.4. Bike still has power, so when I twist the throttle, it goes. I'm going to test the voltages. You should not drain your deep cycle batteries this low, but for testing purposes today, I'm going to go as far as I can. But I'm going to test out the voltage to see what kind of voltage we have on the batteries right now. And here's the voltage, 34.68 from 39-ish when we started. So if you divide that by 3, that we are a little bit over 11 volts, right? So we'll see how that's going to work out. Here we go, 8.4 miles, and according to this graph that you have here on the side, I'm about 20% battery power based on the voltages that I had. So you shouldn't do this. You can see they're low because this is the maximum speed I could get, about 12 miles an hour. So I'm literally spinning in circles around my neighborhood and terrorizing the batteries right now. But this is going to conclude my test. I'm done at almost 10 miles. Very happy 8 miles, and everything else was just a drain on the battery. So full throttle, and it's almost like it's nothing. It's just that the hill going down, it's what's pulling me. So this is the end, 10 miles. And now we're going to charge them. So I put them on a kilowatt. This one would tell me how many watts goes through. So right now I'm pushing 88 watts into the system, into the transformer, and I've used nothing yet because it just started. That one is going to have some loss in power, right? Because it's going to get hot. I've moved over here to this watt meter over here, which will tell me that I'm pushing into the battery 69.6 volts, watts, at 38 volts right now, 1.8 amps, and I put 3.5 watts back into the battery. So it's going to charge them for about 200 watts. That's how much power I must have used out of them and push it back in. So that's how it works. I'm going to keep an eye on it and see how it's gonna end. And the experiment is almost over. So it's still charging at 10 watts, but this would take forever before it's going to finish.
It's almost full. 170 watt worth of power went into these batteries. So 170 watt worth of power. You'll see that in a second. There you go. 170 watt went into the batteries. And on this, you'll see that it took 0.19. And it's actually 0.90 for a while. It's going to switch to 0.20 soon. That's 200 watts worth of power. So there is a loss into the transformer, and then from 190 I got 117 to the batteries. This is just normal, the way that it works. And now that we saw the test for the range, you have a clear winner, right? These batteries won. Now you have to keep under consideration, I'm not naive. The Chinese battery that I had on this bicycle most likely was sold not properly. It was not a 10 amp 36 volt. It was stated on the battery. Most likely it was like a 5 amp 36 volt. So only had about 150 watts worth of power in it. Also, I'll be doing some tests on the watt meter that I have on the handlebars on this bicycle. And I've noticed that at full throttle, this bicycle sucks about 700 watts out of the battery when it's a full throttle. Even though it's a 500 watt motor, it actually sucks 700 under acceleration until it reaches the top speed, and then it settles about 300 watts. If I put it in half mode, it goes about 400 watts under acceleration until 12 miles an hour, and it drops about 150 to 200 watts just running speed. You want a bike that looks nice, lithium ion is the way to go. Another conclusion that I could reach out of this video is that if you're trying to buy a Chinese battery, lithium ion, don't. It seems that the Chinese have a different culture over there where lying on the battery pack, it's absolutely okay. If a battery drains to almost zero or nothing, or just resets itself off every time you try to use it, and you're trying to charge it, and it only takes about 150 to 140, maybe sometimes 100 watts worth of power, that means that you haven't used more than 100 watts of power out of it. So it's either a defective battery or something was wrong with it. Most likely there's cells missing, because to save costs and to be able to be competitive on eBay, they take cells out and sell it as a 10 watt 36 volt, but it's not. If you don't care how your bicycle look and you want to save a bunch of money, got these batteries used. Two of them I had used, one I bought them online, so basically I'm $22 in for a bicycle that has a 10-mile range at full speed, full throttle, so I could easily go 30 miles in pedal assist easily, especially if it's not going to go over 20 miles an hour, where the most energy is spent by the motor to be able to push you over the 22 miles an hour limit, 20 miles an hour limit. Reliability, it's not going to be as good the way that I've done it, because there's like wires hanging. This little basket that I built in the back, it's not really the most steady and reliable basket that you could have. Mounting these batteries on this type of a bicycle, it's quite a pain in the ass because they're quite heavy and they're just bulky and they might leak or create other problems. So this is really not the best way to do it. A good lithium-ion battery is the way to do it, but sometimes, you know, you have to spend the money, and a good one starts about $300, $350. And even those, they have no guarantee that they actually what they put on the battery itself. So you could buy a 10 amp 36 volt 300 and something dollar battery and you might still get jibbed. Is this bike usable in the state that it is right now? Yeah, to take my dog to the park, just to run a couple of errands around the neighborhood, it works really, really well. Also, when I take it to the store, nobody wants to steal it because it's so ugly, so that's another plus. But yeah, this is not a bike that everybody would run. To be very honest with you, when I ride it, I'm not actually proud of it. It's actually a ugly thing that I'm trying to hide, but it works for now, and most likely I'm going to end up putting a proper battery on it once I decide, do I really like to play with this thing, and is it worth the $300 for a proper battery? Until then, let's see how long these batteries will last. For that, you'll have to stay subscribed to the channel, because in time I'm going to bring you an update to see how many charges I get out of them. Also, my plan is to make them work off a 12-volt panel with a charge controller. That way the bicycle will be absolutely green, so when I come home I plug it into the solar instead of plugging it into the outlet. Thanks for watching.